Say hi first. Hi! Hello, wonderful people. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing amazing. My name is Bianca. You can call me B, and welcome back to Books with B. So today we are gonna talk about classics. I'm not a big classics person, but I never thought I would be interested in reading classics. And then all of a sudden, I just fell in love with the Little Women movie, and I read the book, and now I just want more. I just want more classics in my life. So in my journal setup video for 2022, I did have a page that's dedicated to all the classics that I want to read this year. I only placed 10 classics just so that I will be able to keep up and actually achieve that list. We'll see if I get to it. So it's March right now, so I have read some of these books already. I just want to talk about them. Also, I just wanted to say, I'm not 100% sure if these classics are for beginners. I just kind of searched what classics that I'm interested in. I hope they are for beginners, because if I can't finish it, I will be so disappointed in myself. Here are the 10 classics that I want to read during 2022. Okay, so first let's talk about the classics that I've already read. So the first one is The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I still can't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm so sorry. So this is actually my first read of 2022, and I am in love with this book. It's one of my favorite books now. It's just so warm and so wholesome. So, we follow a pilot that got stranded in a desert. He awakes in the morning to be met by this very extraordinary little fellow that asks him to draw him a sheep. Our pilot suddenly realizes that there is so much mysteries in the world, and he decides to go through with drawing the sheep. He brings out a pencil and a paper, and thus starts the enchanting tale in teaching what really is important in life. When I was reading this, all I could feel like is the wholesomeness that is insinuated in this book. The Little Prince talks about how ridiculous he thinks grown-ups are acting, and how we stress so much for so little things. I just really recommend you reading this. It's very short too, so it's not a problem. It is a children's classic. It just makes you kind of rethink on what your priorities should be in life, and it's just so brilliant. I love this book so freaking much. The next one is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I actually listened to the audiobook of this one because I can't, for the life of me, just sit down and read it. I think there's something wrong with me because a lot of people love this book. But I didn't hate it, don't you worry. I actually really enjoyed listening to it. So we follow Elizabeth Bennet. We see her relationship blossom with the very proud Mr. Darcy. Elizabeth is very opinionated. She's the original I'm not like other girls type of girl. At first, Elizabeth thinks that Mr. Darcy is super proud that he doesn't have time for other people that doesn't live to his standards, but then she realizes that there is more than meets the eye. Honestly, this is just a book to see how judgmental Elizabeth Bennet can be, and then all of a sudden she falls in love just when she knows the truth. That's just it, honestly, but I really did like it. I love the banter. So it's set in 1813, so obviously most of the women here just wanting to get married, so it's a very different lifestyle, and I really enjoyed seeing that. I would recommend this to anyone still, even though I didn't love it as much as everyone did. But yeah. So the next one, I've read it when I was in high school, and I loved it so much. I think this is still my favorite classic, but I really, really want to reread it to see how I like it now, and it is Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. It's a big book. I don't know how the hell was I able to finish this during high school. If I could finish this during high school, I can finish it now. I believe in myself. But just a second, can you just appreciate this edition? Look how beautiful. And there's inside pages as well. That is gorgeous. And it has gold sprayed edges. Oh, it's so beautiful. So I didn't read this with this big thing. I actually read it with the Penguin's Classic Edition. It's a little smaller, but still very thick. I loved the musical. That's why I wanted to read it, and at the time we were actually studying about it. It was such great timing. If you've noticed from my videos, I really love seeing pain in books. So this, I will obviously love. Okay, so let's see if I can hold it while I talk about it. It's a tale of injustice, heroism, and love. So we follow Jean Valjean. He is an escaped convict. It's more than a story of an escaped convict. This is a story of love, romantic love, parental love, love for your country, and love for your job. It is an archive of miserable people during historical periods in France. There are just so many stories that is in this big book. Obviously, it ranges from a schoolboy that just wants the best for his country to a mom that just wants to merely survive or at least find the best way to protect her daughter from the world. It's just a lot. It's a lot. And I remember comparing the book to the musical. What I loved about it is we actually see the romance between Cosette and Marius, because in the musical they just fall in love instantly, but in here, as I can remember, it had more things to discuss, and I love this so much. I am excited to reread this. I won't read it with this edition because it's too heavy. And it has the thin pages too, so it's a total of, wow. So it's a total of 1,247 pages. It is split into volumes, so I will probably read it by volume. And I just can't wait to just be immersed in that story again. It's just very nostalgic for me, and yeah, I love Les Miserables. If you haven't read it, I know it's very intimidating, but if my high school self can do it, you can do it too. The next in this list is Dracula by Bram Stoker. I have no idea. Wow, okay, this is I'm sorry, I got distracted how light this book is after I carried Les Miserables. I'm sorry, okay. So, let's go with Dracula. Honestly, I wanted to do research to say what I want to say in this video for Dracula, but the thing is, I was very confused in a lot of things. I don't even know if I will be able to read this, because I heard that it's very intimidating. The reason why I picked this up and I want to read it is because it's Dracula, you know, vampires, but yeah. I don't know what else to say about it. I just want to read it and see what's with it, but I heard it's really hard too. I think these are just diary entries mostly too. See, so yeah, it's actually journals from people who visited Count Dracula's castle. Yeah, sorry. The next one is Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. The reason why I really want to read this is because I went to Tokyo Disneyland and rode the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea attraction, and I just want to know more. So when a monster threatens international shipping, French oceanographer Pierre Aronnax, I don't know, I'm sorry. So he joins the US Navy to hunt this menace and destroy it. After countless of searches, they discover that this monster is actually a submarine that is called the Nautilus, and it's piloted by Captain Nemo. Thus starts the thrilling adventure of Captain Nemo and his crew with these oceanographers to discover the secrets of the sea. I heard that Atlantis will be here too, so I'm not 100% sure, but I am just excited to have a journey and discover a lot of things with this book. It sounds so great. If you don't know me personally, I freaking love marine biology and I love marine animals, and I just can't wait to see what we'll see in this big journey of discovery. The next one, I don't have a physical copy, but it's Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. It is a gothic book, and I'm so excited for this one. So our story begins in Monte Carlo, where our heroine, I don't even know if she has a name, she was swept off her feet by Maxime de Winter, and he proposes all of a sudden. But then when they arrive at his country estate, she realizes how huge the shadow that his late wife left, presenting her with a lingering feeling of evil that threatens to destroy their marriage from beyond the grave. And that to me sounded so freaking interesting. Like, that sounds scary as heck. That sounds like a book that I would really like and appreciate. I'm going to read it probably during autumn season, but I'm just so excited to see what the hell Rebecca wants to do, what she's going to do with our main girl. It's just, these classics are so interesting! The next one we have is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. So I think this is a little on the mystery side as well. So her courage is being tested when she gets to Thornfield Hall, where she was hired by Edward to look after his ward, Adele. Jane then gets drawn to Edward's troubled yet very kind spirit, and she falls in love. But there are some mysteries surrounding Thornfield Hall, and we don't know what Edward is not telling Jane. And again, with mystery and thrillers, what else can I say? That sounded so freaking interesting to me. All I want is just all the classics just in my lap and just read it. The next one is actually another gothic mystery weird one. So it is We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. I don't even want to attempt to try to say what it's about. I'm just gonna read it off of my phone here. It says, "My name is Mary Catherine Blackwood. I am 18 years old and I live with my sister Constance. I have often thought, with any luck at all, I could have been born a werewolf, because the two middle fingers on both of my hands are the same length. But I have to be content with what I had. I dislike washing myself and dogs and noise. I like my sister Constance and Richard Plantagenet and Amita, fellow whatever, the death cap mushroom. Everyone else in my family is dead." What? I literally, that is the description in Goodreads, and I thought I was reading nonsense, and then the last line, "all my family is dead." Like, what? What are you talking about? I was so intrigued when I saw this. I think half of this list is actually like gothic slash thriller slash scary slash horror classics. There's something wrong with me. I'm so excited for this one as well. It's very mysterious, I don't know what's going on, and I love those kinds of books. So, let's go! The last and final one that I have here in my reading journal is actually, it's called, the checklist that I put, it says bookstore finds. So I just found this in the bookstore very recently, and it is Meditation by Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor. It's his personal diary. So when he was a kid, he hangs out with a lot of philosophers, so most of the text in this book is centered to philosophy, and I love that. I really want to know what goes in his mind while he was reigning as an emperor and before, I think, and I just love this edition. That is so beautiful. This book is more of, you just bring with you every day and just read it. Like, it's not like sit down, read, and just enjoy everything. It's more of a, you just read it when you want to, when you have the time and have the vibes for it, and I love it. I actually started it already, and it's very interesting. So that's all the classics that I want to read. If you've read these classics, please let me know, and let me know what your thoughts are. What should I start first? I'm so excited for all of them. Look, I have a dog. I will probably read Les Miserables first because it's the thickest one. Mwah. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, please do consider hitting that subscribe button and that like button and that notification icon as well if you'd like to see more from me. If you're still here, you're a freaking champ. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah. Bye!